Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We've got our February session today, one of the events today. Okay. If you're jumping on, give me a wave. Let me know who you are. Standard question. I want to know who I'm talking to. Let's just see who jumps on. So today's an interesting topic. How to get your children to accept no for an answer without it ending in meltdowns and screaming. What an interesting topic today is. So if you're jumping on, say hi. Just going to get myself set up here. I've got some slides to show you. So for those of you who don't know, each month in this group, there is a series of trainings, workshops, guest speakers, one-on-one sessions. Hey, Colleen, great to have you here. And this is because we are a big group of about 1,500 parents in here, over 1,500 parents now. So if there's anybody that you want to invite in, please invite them in. This is growing rapidly and there's always free events in here. Nobody is ever trying to sell you anything in here. I don't allow those posts in here. It's a very restricted group, this one. So this is only ever about what's going to work for you as parents, as women, as men. That's it. That's all I want to provide. Hey, Chantel, great to see you. So I know this topic has been of interest to quite a lot of people, and I'd like to know why. Now, obviously, that seems like a silly question, but I want to know why for you in your home. So how does no work in your home? How does giving it, how does receiving it work? What do you see? What are the meltdowns? What is it about saying no, your kids hearing it, that's a problem in your home? Can you share it with me? Let's have a bit of a share for now, because it's one that I get asked a lot. It's one that gets shared with me as a huge concern a lot of the time. What's normal? What's not normal? How can I make it easier? How can they accept no? How can I understand the triggers and avoid them? How can I reduce the meltdowns? There's always questions around this. So what's it like in your home? Just share with me, share with us. I want to know. And while you're doing that, I'm going to get something else up here on the screen. Let's see if I've got it ready for us. So how does it work in your home? Let me know. And just so you know, I've got a couple of exciting things coming up for next month. There's going to be a few really interesting guest speakers, and I'm actually going to doing a 4-day free event on all of the topics that make a huge difference in setting your children up for absolute success as they get older. So whether or not they're toddlers now, we want to set them up for success in their teen years and what they'll be experiencing, and their adult years. How can we set them up for true, fulfilled, emotionally stable and happy and content fulfillment? How can we do that from a young age? How do we set that up successfully? So that's something that I'll give you details on in a couple of weeks. So Chantel, my son doesn't like moving on from tasks that he's enjoying. Absolutely. Yes, yes, yes. I can understand this. Absolutely. Not a surprise to me. I hear this all the time and I've seen this a lot. So let's see what we can uncover through this, Chantel. So bear with me. Alrighty. The question of today: how to get your children to accept no for an answer without it ending in yelling and screaming. So over the last 10 years since I've been working with families, one-on-one with children, one-on-one with parents in the realms of all types of complex needs and behaviours, all types of different approaches, traditional, non-traditional, there's some key themes that I want to share with you today. So these are designed to be simple. Now, the part of raising children where it gets complicated is that we tend to overthink things. Because there is such an emotional investment as a parent, the biggest emotional investment that you've got, that tends to lead to overthinking and complicating things. So my role here, my goal is to bring you the simplicity, because it can be simple. These are children, they're developing, and we get to keep it simple to make the biggest differences possible. So if you're interested in that, say yes. Say yes if you're interested in that. I've lost the screen here, bear with me. So let's begin, but I want to see your comments first. Say yes if you're ready. Hey, Brittany, great to have you on here. Welcome, nice to meet you. Say yes if you're ready. Okay, awesome. I can see that you're all ready to rock and roll. Let's get into this. Let's do it. So there needs to be some certain music with this one. Boom, boom, boom. The hard truth is this. I could not sit here and say to you that I have the magic pill and this is now going to be perfect forever and ever if you implement these things. Not true, never will be true. And if anybody promises you this, I would question their intention. So obviously, as a child behavior specialist, this is something that pops up all of the time. Reactions to no, reactions to lots of things that we say to them. So the hard truth is, hearing no is devastating for children and forever will be. It forever will be devastating. We will never, ever, ever stop completely the meltdowns when you tell your child no. It's just not possible. It's not possible. And if that's what you're hoping for, I'm really sorry, but that's not something that will happen. So their brains are functioning firstly from the emotion center. Okay, that's where they're seeing their environment. That's how they're reacting to their environment. They're emotionally driven at the moment. So like this, boom, they're into the emotional meltdown state when they don't get their way. Boom, 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 boom. Now, as adults, it takes us a little while to get there. However, we still don't like it when things don't go our way either. It's just that we have developed the ability to last a little longer without reacting. We have access to the other parts of the brain, which allows us to do that, allows us to reason and understand the other person's perspective. Children don't have that just yet. So they are functioning from the emotion center of the brain. And what this also means is that they are more present than any other person on the planet. They are more present than adults. They have the ability to be present in what they're doing and what they're experiencing. And most of the time, if they're in something long enough or they're requesting something from you, it's because they know it will lead to more joy, more time feeling good, more time feeling like they're in a good mood, good state. Their body knows it feels good. Their body knows it's going to get some sort of hormonal reward for doing that particular activity or doing it for longer. Their body knows. Their brain doesn't just yet. Their brain doesn't just yet. So saying no to them is like a shock to the system. So you imagine a train, we're just rocking and rolling along. We're on our way, we're going. We know where we're going and we want to keep on going there, okay? We want to keep on feeling good. We love this activity. We know where we're headed, all right? And then another steamroller just parks up in front of us and then we have to jam on our brakes. And maybe we don't do it in time. Maybe we still hit that other steamroller in front of us. This is the shock to the system. We've stopped any hormonal benefits and rewards to that particular body and mind. We've stopped it. And then the emotions kick in, boom, and the explosion happens. So that's what's going on in their little mind and their body. And that's what's going on, Chantel, if we are like the task we're doing and we don't want to change tasks. Children want to keep on doing what's enjoyable. So that's what's going on. So the hard truth is that saying no is devastating for a child. It feels like the world is going to end. And hearing no always has been. And for some time, it always will be hard to hear. But there is hope. There is some hope within all of this. Okay? There are ways to reduce the chaos after you've said no. Now, the way that we do this is that we are focusing on the before pictures, the before moments. And I don't just mean minutes before. It could mean hours before, or it could mean days before. We focus on the before, because if we're seeing an increase in meltdowns or tantrums, or an increase in them not listening to you or not wanting to hear no or accept no, if we're seeing an increase in that, then it's one or two of these before aspects that are not getting the attention that they need. So what are the before aspects? Let's go through just a couple of the main ones that you can start focusing on this week. And I want to make really clear is that implementing these changes or these observations is going to be where any change happens. So I can give you all of the information and what I've learned over the last 10 years working with families, but this is going to really work the best for your kids and for you if you practice at least just one of these things and experiment with it. We're just experimenting. I like using the word experimentation because things always change with kids, as you know. They're growing at such a rapid rate. So how much choice do you really give them each day? How much choice do you really give them each day? Now, when I ask this question, I often get met with, they get a lot of choice. They get a lot of choice. And when I dig deeper and deeper into the choices that day or the previous days, there's actually not that much. Yeah, good, Chantel. Me too. Me too. So how much choice are you really giving them? Now, this is a bold and a brave question because it really requires some critical self-reflection. See, we often as adults, we have a very different lens to our children, a very different lens. So we might think that a certain choice at a certain time of day, maybe just with, what blanket they choose to go to bed with is enough for that child or our child or your child. Maybe they need more choice than that each day. Maybe that choice in particular doesn't mean that much to them. Maybe choice around the things that matter to them most in this world need to increase. Maybe the choice that you're willing to give them is not what matters to them, but it's what's easiest for you. And what's easiest for you doesn't necessarily make the most difference or bring on the results that you want as a parent or as a household, wanting the harmonious dynamic. So I invite you to write this down. When children feel powerless, they will seek power by saying no or ignoring your no. When children feel powerless, they will seek power by saying no or ignoring your no. So this is where providing more of the choices throughout the days, throughout the week, makes such a big difference. So 90% of the time when I make this a focus of my clients, it's such a simple one, it makes a dramatic difference in how often their children listen to them. The meltdown reduction is well over 50%. And the dynamic in the home feels a lot more calm and a lot more harmonious and a lot more fun. So could this be what you experiment with this week? Maybe it's about reflecting on the lack of choice they get each day? Is it that it's this routine? They go to school, they come home, they've got to unpack their bag, they've got to do the dishwasher, they've got to do their homework, they've got to have dinner, they've got to go to bed. It's at a certain time. They've got routine, routine, routine. Is there any room for choice in the day? Maybe there's no room for it. So maybe it's about creating that space for choice. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's simple as, and this is such an old tool and an old technique, but it could just be giving them 2 options to choose from when a decision needs to be made. Could be as simple as that. How many more could we provide? Hey, Beck, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So is this yours? Let me know in the comments. Is there room for choice in your day? Is there room for your kids to make the choice? But more importantly, is there room for them to make choices on what's important to them, which may be the inconvenient things, which might be the time-consuming things, by the way, because it's not always easy, that part of it. It's not always easy. So is that it? Hey, Janine, welcome, welcome. So let me know if that's something that you're going to experiment with this week. The next thing that I've noticed over the last 10 years, one of the key points, and this might just be it for you, this might be the thing, and this is about sticking to your guns. So only now, yeah, awesome, Brittany, that's great, that's great reflection. So only in the last couple of weeks, I've actually had a couple of parents say to me, particularly around food and what's allowed, particularly these sugary treats maybe. And I've heard this over the last few weeks and the last few months. You know, sometimes it's just easier to give in. I'll hear mums say to me, usually. Sometimes it's just easier. I couldn't be bothered with the nagging and the constant at me questions, the constant mummy, 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 or I couldn't be bothered with it. So yes, just have it. Or maybe it's about something else. So the thing is that when children realize that nagging works or throwing a tantrum works or a meltdown works, when they realize that works, even if it's just one time, they will go back to it. They are learning. They've learned how to get their needs met. They don't care if it doesn't suit you. It's getting their needs met. That's it. That's for me then, their little mind will say. That's for me. Thank you. I've learned a tool that's going to work. So how often do you stick to your guns, but stick to and navigate and persist with the discomfort of their yelling and screaming or their meltdown, saying, please, 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 just one, come on, come on, come on. Or the constant them going to the cupboard. How often do you persist with that? See, if we have constantly given in, yeah, okay, Brittany, good honesty, great. So if we constantly give in, we're already setting up a habit. We're setting it up. So are they going to take our no's seriously? No. Are they going to accept them? No. Are they going to continue doing what they did previously to get their needs met? Absolutely. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You're not just teaching them how to navigate not having a sugary treat if you persist through the discomfort of their nagging or their meltdown or tantrum over hearing no. That's not what you're doing right now or through this. You're actually teaching them something for their future. Remember, I always say this, childhood is the training ground. It's the training ground in how we're going to navigate emotions and discomfort and not getting our way into teens and adulthood. We're teaching them how to sit with discomfort, uncomfortable emotions, frustration, anger. And maybe it's teaching you how to as well. So your role when the meltdowns come and happen is to just guide them through it and sit with it. That's it. Now, if you've been, as I think Chantel, you just said, if you've been the big softie and you've given in a lot of the time, starting to come back in and stick to your guns is going to be that shock to the system again. Oh my God, my technique doesn't work. I better kick it up tenfold. And they will kick it up tenfold. So know that it could get worse before it gets better. But the long-term impacts and the benefits far outweigh the discomfort short-term. Far outweigh. Yeah, interesting, Beck. So I never give in, but I always yell and get mad. Yeah, sure. So not winning. Got it. Yeah. So this then speaks to how comfortable are you with chaos around you? Another chat for another time. But this could be a really great learning opportunity for both of you in those scenarios. So stick to your guns with this and just guide them through the meltdown. That's it. The emotions that they're feeling, they're not bad and they should not be happening. It's okay. You haven't done anything wrong if they're not allowed the sugary treat after dinner every single night. Their emotions are warranted, they're allowed, they can be there, and you just get to navigate them through. Try not to reason with them during these times too. Big point. Don't reason. They're not interested in your reasoning. All they're thinking about is what they want. So let me know if that one makes more sense to you. Is that the thing? Is that the thing that needs to be experimented with this week, maybe? Maybe that's it and not the first one. So what's the last one then? Let's see. Drum roll. Of course it's this. Connection, connection, connection. So if your child doesn't feel close to you and connected to you, seen, heard, and understood by you, it's not likely they're going to listen to you. It's as simple as that. If your child, and you can write this down as a reminder. Hey, Angela, welcome, welcome. So if your child doesn't feel heard, seen, or understood by you, and this can only happen when there's space and time for connection, they're not likely to want to listen to you. So we get to come back to one of the basic needs of your children and us as human beings. How has the connection time been? Has there been quality connection time? Has there been space for getting bored and playful with your kids without tasks? Now, I know that the overwhelming nature of this world and parenthood is a lot sometimes, most of the time it is. But I also know that the most important thing to you is your relationship with your children and what they're learning from you and from your relationship and what this means for their future. I also know that. And so what's required is quality connection time. Forgo the cleanliness of the house for one day a week. Forgo mealtime at the perfect time of day. Forgo homework one afternoon a week if it's needed, if you can see that connection's more important that day. If there's anything out of balance, behavioral imbalances, something not okay, always go back to connection. If there's anything you remember from today and anything at all that I ever say, come back to connection. This is your solid base block for your child now and their future. This is it. They crave it, they want it, even when you feel like they don't want it, they want it. So is it that it's connection? Let me know in the comments. Is it that it's connection that's required over the next week to experiment with? Is it that? Awesome, Chantel. That's good to hear. What does connection look like for you? What could you do differently at connection time? Are you actually present? Your energy doesn't lie. If you are distracted, your child knows. If you are distracted, your husband knows. If you are distracted, your wife knows. If you are distracted, everybody knows. So what could be done differently in the realm of connection? So these are the 3 blocks: connection, sticking to the guns, and providing more choice. Experiment with one of them. Just pick one and you'll know after hearing me today which one you need to experiment with or you'd like to. Maybe it's not a need and you just get to improve things even more. So what is it for you? Let me know in the comments. If you have any questions as well, please pop them in the comments now. So we've got those 3 pillars. 3 pillars. Need to have more connection. Yeah, Beck, after having chronic pain for the last 5 months, this has really become a hard task. Yeah, that makes total sense. So we just get to come back to the basics every time. So Brittany, for you, it's sticking to your guns. Great. Let me know how you go with it. Really dive in with this experiment. Commit to it. You will see a difference. You will see a difference. I guarantee you. So that's it from me today. Short, sharp, and sweet. But those 3 pillars are the base blocks so that we can give a no and not see so many meltdowns and actually have them listen to us. And so we are building them up and setting them up for success in their future. That's our goal in childhood. That's our goal. And that's my goal to support you with. So any questions, let me know. If there's a topic you want me to chat on, please let me know. I'm always open. I need new topics each month, so give them to me. Whatever's going on in your home, let me support you in whatever way I can. So that's it from me today. Let me say goodbye, and I'll chat to you very soon. Bye for now, everybody.